Okay. All right. Thanks for being here. Okay. So today I want to talk to you about min-maxing our workout, right? Or just like fitness in general, right? I phrase it like that because I'm a gamer. You're a gamer. Mm-hmm. You're better at first-person shooters than me. A lot better. What was it? The finals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Carry the team, Brandon. Good job. But yeah, min-maxing. I just like that term because it resonates with me with like getting the most bang for your buck, maxing the output for what you put in.
Yeah, the best efficiency, like 200%.
Yeah. And yeah, another way of putting that is just like things we wish we knew at the beginning because it would have given us the most benefit from
Not
the
like
start.
spinning wheels, wasting time. Yeah.
So then the first topic I have, which is like the first thing that like, and I definitely go from like easiest to hardest. Like the easiest, most bang for your buck, just like start now, is water. Be hydrated, and like your body is 70% water. You hear it all the time.
Blah, blah, yeah.
But there's a reason. Like, I think it's Hank Green is the one who phrased it like this, but like life evolved in the oceans. And like now that we are land mammals, we've just evolved to like take the ocean with us. And that's why we're 70% water, so that the body has like an aqueous solution to do chemistry in. Like if you don't have a medium, then the chemistry can't happen. So like cellular respiration, just the exchange of gases. You gotta have those aqueous membranes to breathe and get rid of waste, you know? So you need water to do all those things, and just like being hydrated just helps it happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, constant supply, like faster recycling, basically, of that resource, and just, so your body doesn't get used to spending, how do you say that? Used to surviving off of less water.
Yeah.
Right, so it can function better and faster.
Yeah, you want your body to think that like, oh, water is plentiful, so therefore we can use as much as we want.
Right.
You don't want it to be like pinching pennies with the water supply, you know? Because then your body's not going to be running at full efficiency.
Right, so what are the things that affect the amount of water in our bodies?
I mean, exercise is going to make you use more water. Salt intake, food, dry food. If you eat like saltines, you can drink a lot of water with that. A lot of foods naturally have a lot of water in it. Watermelon, fruit in general come to mind. I guess like soups, although I don't really eat. Do you eat a lot of soup?
Broth, yeah.
Sure.
It's good broth.
I guess you are more Asian than me.
Yeah, ramen, those things have deadly sodium in those.
Oh, yes, though. So the amount of water that's in the broth, you actually need to drink a lot more on top of that.
Oh, yeah. A bottle before and after every single packet.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, so like amount of water, like people are always like, oh, how much water should I drink? Just always have a water bottle on hand. Oh, bad look for me. My water bottle's across the room.
We can share a cup.
Fuck. Just always have a water bottle on hand.
Damn, bro. I feel like inadequate with my little Remy.
Just always have a water bottle on hand. If you like have chapped lips, or like if your fingers look pruny, that's often a sign that you're a little dehydrated. I'm a little dehydrated right now.
Huh.
Yeah. Like if you do this, like kind of open up your hands. Mm-hmm. Like does it like?
So it's like stretched almost.
Yeah. Huh. Like if they're nice and full and plump, it's because there's more water in it. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm actually doing a creatine load right now. So I'm a little dehydrated. I cannot.
Oh yeah, creatine.
Drink enough.
You need more water.
Yes.
With creatine, yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. We'd spend an entire podcast on it, on just creatine. We probably will. But yeah, if you're doing a creatine load,
that shit is good.
Yes, very good stuff. Drink lots of water. So just drink water all day, every day. Your urine should be like pale yellow. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the gist.
Is there like a thing like how often you should urinate? Because like I know once you jack up your water intake, you're gonna pee a lot more often. And I don't know if I've just gotten more used to the frequency or if it's gone down. I don't know.
I haven't really kept track.
Yeah.
Like when I'm like not creatine loading, just like under normal circumstances, probably like every other hour or so, maybe.
Really, like I don't keep track of that.
I don't know. I don't want a doctor to see this and be like, "Oh, something's wrong with prostate." Like
Yeah.
peeing that too many times in a day.
No, I just drink a lot.
I swear we don't need to do the procedure. Not yet. Yeah. I'm only 29. Okay. Okay, we got on water?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Flat bottom shoes.
Yeah.
My goodness. Okay. The amount of people, you work in a gym. How many people would you say, like, do you see working out in, like, running shoes? Like, what percentage?
Oh my goodness, like
So many, right?
probably like 80 at least.
Oh, jeez. It's too many.
Like either like sneakers, like those. It's basically like those balancing pads on your feet all the time. Yeah, like super thick ones or like basketball shoes, just around.
Basketball shoes aren't as bad because they're very
They're
stable.
meant to be stiff, yeah.
Yeah, and they do have a flatter bottom. But it's just like...
Is it really zero drop, a lot of them?
Zero drop?
Yeah, like there's no incline in the heel or whatever.
Oh, no incline?
Yeah.
Basketball shoes...
You have more experience with basketball than I do.
Yeah, but I was never hip with the basketball shoes. Like, a lot of people, like, have it as, like, a style.
Right, right.
I usually just got, like, the basketball shoes that were on sale. I mean, there's probably, like, a little bit of an incline.
Okay,
Like, a
sure.
little bit. I think a little is fine. Like, real, like powerlifting shoes, they have, like, a lot of incline.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like 15%.
Right.
15-degree incline.
But they're very stiff.
Yes.
They're like wood.
Yeah, it's like having like a doorstop
Mm-hmm.
under your foot.
Yeah. They're nice.
Yeah, they're nice. Basically, just like having a solid foundation under your feet is just going to allow you to transfer energy into the ground and therefore back into your lift, right? So you are just straight up going to add 10 pounds to your bench press.
Right.
You're going to add like 20 to 30 pounds to your squat. Same thing to your deadlift. Like, it's just going to straight up improve the efficiency. Like, the amount of energy output just gets transferred into the weight so much better if it's just a hard bottom sole. And like you said, like the squishy, especially because like I feel like walking shoes are getting even squishier these days.
They are, yeah.
Like the
It's
Hokas.
Yeah,
It's really
because
popular right now.
man, the deformation of feet from wearing those soft shoes every day. Like, I did a ton of research on this because I got plantar fasciitis like from the factory. I sound 80 years old right now, but like, doing 30,000 steps a day in steel-toed boots gave me plantar fasciitis. Yeah, and then I did a whole lot of research, and went to clinics for that, and like everyone's arches are falling.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find people with feet that are like perfectly arched and perfectly boxy and like they should be in wide. And all this compensation like lets you collapse your arches and like your ankles go inward, and it feels comfortable at the time, right, until you need to do some real work. And then it's all
So you need arch support. That's what you're saying.
I would say you definitely need to train back the arch, right? There are different ways to do that, like anterior tibialis curls, just like literally forming an arch, forcing it for like reps or whatever. That's all physical therapy stuff, but
It's like
and like going on like walks in grass, not in concrete, with either, well, if you want, like if you're wild, bare feet, or like those barefoot shoes, or like socks, or like Converse would be a good starting point, but it's so narrow, it's not conducive to natural foot movement. But a lot of people do that and then overdo it and then fuck up their feet even more. So it's got to be like a training. You need to rest and recover. But while you rest and recover, you can use those super soft things with arch support. That's why I wear those squishy like 4D Adidas ramen shoes when I'm just standing around on the like tile at work, right? Because I'm currently recovering from my fallen arches. They've gotten better, but I just need to manage the recovery a lot.
Gotcha. So like would you recommend like normal walking shoes that are like not overly squishy? Like you're just like your traditional, just like Nike.
Depends on where you
walking
start.
shoes.
Yeah, if you have strong feet already, like perfect arches, stay away from those. Right, get some squishy like wide-toed feet or whatever, wide-toed shoes. Depends on what you're doing too. If you're a nurse that has to stand for 12 hours, oh my gosh, get some clouds.
Mm.
But day to day, if you're just walking to the grocery store or whatever, walking your dog, yeah, get some wide barefoot shoes. Try to walk on grass whenever you can. Return to monk. Yeah.
True. I got you. But yeah, if your feet are fine and you're working out in the gym, flat
Right.
bottom shoes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like that would be a good like training stimulus for that.
Yeah. It should strengthen your feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we covered it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rest. Adequate rest.
Yeah.
This is a big thing for me because when I first started lifting when I was in like high school, I was like 16, and I was like, all right, I'm tired of being skinny. I want some muscle. I want to be like my man Arnold. Okay, welcome back. I want to be like Arnold, right?
Yeah.
I want to be big. So I like look at his training program. I literally bought Arnold's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, and like some of his workout routines were like twice a day, like 5 days on,
Right.
and then 2 rest days. So like he would work out like 10 workouts in a week. And so I was like, all right,
That's what you gotta do now.
that's what you gotta do.
absolutely.
Like if I want to be Arnold, I gotta work out like Arnold. And so I would work out like freaking like 8 times a week. That's too much. And I think there's 2 big things about this of why I cannot train like Arnold. First one is the obvious one, is that I am not Arnold.
Mhm.
Arnold is superhuman. He has very good genetics.
Oh my gosh.
He is like all of us are here. He's up there in terms of like
Even
lifting
just
genetics.
naturally, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And that brings me to my second one, which was he was supplementing. Like he has admitted to taking like PEDs, the amount of which he has stated, and I feel like a lot of other classic bodybuilders has corroborated this, which is like in the classic era with like Frank Zane, Lou Ferrigno, Arnold. They were all taking PEDs, steroids, what have you, but not to the extent that they're doing today. Today,
Right. Yeah.
juice monkeys.
Whole different stack.
Yes. So, and again, that's another category that I don't really want to get. I do want to spend like dedicated time to
Right.
Steroids on their own episode or whatever. But those PEDs, they reduce the amount of time you need to recover. So if you are a normal person like us, just natural, we need a normal amount of rest, which is to say a lot more than Arnold or any of those dudes you see on Instagram or fitness magazines or especially winning competitions.
Right. And I also would say that the amount of rest is, different for every person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it also affects how active you were as you were a kid or just early on in life. Because, like, heart health is a big part of recovery. I've found.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Heart
health and circulation.
Well, I guess the way I feel about it is how active you were is your foundation. Like if you want to start lifting at 16 or 18 or 20.
Foundation is better than childhood. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives you a beginning foundation, but like even if you like did no sports and you watched TV all day and played video games as a kid, and then when you turned 20 and you're like, oh, I want to start lifting.
Mm-hmm.
If you lift for the next 10 years, I think you're gonna have a pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Your recovery time is going to be a lot lower. So, yeah, I think it's just a starting point. But that's just to say, like just listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you need rest. If the muscle is still sore, don't work it out. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually.
Usually.
9 out of 10
It's
times.
a pretty good indicator, right? There's only so much that we can exactly see, and just, listening.
Yeah. Like if it's been sore for like a week, that's a little abnormal. So like maybe you could do like a light exercise, just get the blood flowing in the muscle.
Right. I found that after the first couple days of it being really sore, and if it's still sore, just not as sore as before. If I do a couple light sets, it's immediately not sore anymore.
It probably clears a lot of the metabolic waste out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so resting enough, and so like for beginners, people just starting out, would you say like probably like 3 days on, 4 days off, or like 3 or 4 days on, and then 3 or 4 rest days?
Depends on the frequency or split, I guess. For like one muscle group, I would say at least 3 days between the next time you touch
What
it.
you doing on muscle group? I was saying just like.
Oh, like systemic fatigue?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, beginners. Oh, dang. Yeah, I would say just 3 weightlifting days in the gym a week.
Yeah, and you can add like cardio days on top.
However spread out, yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can always progress. You can work your way up to 4.
Yeah, I've always heard
5
this
days
like
on.
arbitrary 20-12 rule where it's like 20 days, get your heart rate up or whatever, and then 12 of those 20 days need to be weightlifting.
Yeah.
That's just a current thing. Really.
That's just one of the, and this is more of like an overarching thing that I see, is that like a lot of people feel the need to be an expert and say that they are the only expert, mind you. Like, everyone else is wrong, I have the solution. It's 2012 rule, like, right? Like,
It's just a cookie cutter. Yeah.
Applies to everyone, and only I know, you know? Which is just, as we know, is just not accurate. Everyone's different.
Right.
You know, just feel it out. It just requires self-reflection, which I think is just the hardest part, right? People listen to those type of people because they don't want to think. They're like, I don't want to think about fitness. I don't want to think about what I'm eating, how I'm working out. Just tell me what to do. I'll do it. I'd rather be thinking about Netflix. I'd rather be thinking about what I'm doing this weekend, right? Which is fine, which is fair. Like, clearing up mental space, it's good.
Right.
But like, while you're in the gym, like, and I guess this is actually just like an offshoot of mindfulness, which is like, while you're working out, be thinking about your workout.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's going to be safer. It's going to be more quality.
Practice more self-awareness of your body.
Yeah. And like, it's good mental therapy, like to be in the moment, like that, just in general.
Oh yeah, to just like not be watching something or, you know, observing speed.
Yeah, like watching like ESPN highlights on your phone, or like texting people between sets.
Right, because like even when you're listening to music, you can still be mindful.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can just go in there like a psychopath with no music on.
No.
Headphones on, but no music playing. Like, that, you don't gotta do all that, but...
Listen to music. I don't trust you if you don't listen to music in the gym. Some psychopath. I can't remember who said it. It was like, the only people who don't listen to music in the gym are psychopaths or people training to avenge the death of a family member.
Yeah, or David Goggins.
Who?
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay, that's
don't name
fine.
drop on me.
That was crazy. But we can move on.
Fine. But yeah. Yeah, so like, just being mindful in the gym. And it's not, so you can look at your phone in between sets. You can text occasionally, of course. Like, don't be a monk.
Right,
you don't have to be a monk. You can incorporate some monk things. Did you read Think Like a Monk?
No.
Oh, you should. I have it. I'll lend it to you. If you do you read audiobooks? It's on Spotify.
Let's move on.
Whatever. You're not
I'm
gonna
embarrassed to
listen
talk about it.
Okay. But yeah, think like a monk. It's good. Basically, Jay Shetty, he lived as a Buddhist monk in a monastery for like 5 or something years. And then he felt it was his calling to share his teachings with the world. That's what he does now. His book, very good. And he says that you can apply a lot of these Buddhist teachings, monk teachings, to just the way you think in your normal day-to-day life.
Right.
So not as a monk. So like it's the same thing with working out. You can be mindful like 70% and then like 30% like you're texting, or like maybe like at the gym there's like ESPN, sure, look up at ESPN, whatever. But like you want to reflect on your workout, be thinking, oh, how did that last set go? Did it feel right? Like if I'm doing a bench press, did I feel it in my chest? Did I feel it in my shoulders?
Right.
Like, oh, I felt it in my shoulders. That's not a good thing. You know, just having that reflection.
Yeah, I feel like a brief little change of mindset and prioritizing that more would just naturally incline you to pay attention to that more.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. I think that goes over rest. I think we're good on rest, right?
Yeah.
Just listen to your body,
Right.
I think, is the main thing. If it says rest, rest. If you're a beginner, start with 3 days on, and then you can...
And then
work your
don't
way
be
up.
so quick to, like, be so strict on a cookie cutter program.
Yeah.
Because they don't know your body. They're not in
Yeah.
it. And, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have a coach right now, and he says 2 days on, 1 day off. That's my current schedule. But sometimes I don't strictly adhere to it. Yesterday, like I was crazy sore from getting some deep tissue work done on me, and even though the program said to work out, I needed the rest,
Right.
so I rested. I hit the gym today.
And then some days, like, various factors, whatever it may be, I'm not even going to give examples, it's just too much.
Right.
Like, you
Could be
can
anything.
not be strong this one, or, like, not feel as... You can go as long, you know. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If your workout had like one more exercise and I'm pretty shot, just end your workout. Like,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, my workout's done. I feel like I got enough energy for 4 more sets. Do another exercise.
Keep going. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Depends on how you're feeling, what your goals are, or if you're like, oh, I'm trying to take it easy this week because I'm like going out of town next week or whatever. Like I'm traveling, I don't want my body to be destroyed while I'm out of town. Take it easy that week. Just like it depends on how you feel and what your goals are.
Right. And like as long as you're getting your maintenance calories in, if you're just laying in bed, blinking, breathing, muscles will shrink at like around 6 weeks. So you're good.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
taking it easy for 1 week.
which is great news because like when I'm sick for like a week, I'm like, oh, my gains, they're disappearing. No, they're not.
Well, I mean, that a lot of people think that because when they take like a true break, like when they're sick or whatever, or if you're even healthy, all the glycogen just like leaves your muscles, so you do physically shrink, but it's not muscle tissue that's going away.
So you're just getting it right back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eat some carbs.
Right. There's like, you know, an intense immediate pump, and then there's like a lasting inflammation, and you know, yeah.
There's a lot of layers to it.
Right.
Yes. Cool. Okay. Moving right along. Quality over quantity. This actually blends in really well with the rest.
Yeah.
So like, lately for my shoulder days, partially because I'm rehabbing that rib that was messed up. I've been doing really lightweight, but a lot of high reps, especially on delts. So like shoulder press, because that rib is right there. I can only manage so much weight, but I'm doing things crazy slow. Like I think right now I'm doing shoulder presses like 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. So it's very slow, but like you don't need a lot of weight. If you're doing it this slow and with enough reps, I think it was 3 sets of 20 reps and then a heavy set of 10 reps. When you're doing it that slow for 20 reps, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna burn, it's gonna create a lot of micro tears. You're gonna get a lot of benefit. So even though it's not crazy, I'm not lifting like 70 pounds like I used to when I was younger and brasher. Even though it's not 70-pound dumbbells, like it's still a good workout. And if both, like, let's assume that both workouts give you equal, like, benefit, right? Lifting heavy and intense with the 70-pound weights and lifting low and slow with like 15, 20, 25 pounds, but a lot of volume. they're roughly going to give you the same amount of benefit, but one's a lot safer.
Do you want to define benefit?
Yes.
Like hypertrophic stimulus?
So there's hypertrophic stimulus, but also strength. And actually the low and slow, because you're doing it so slow, there's not going to be any moments of weakness. So you're actually training also the movement, because training strength, if you ask me, is a lot of parts training movement, like teaching your muscles a certain muscle memory to move weight in a certain way. Yeah. It's technique.
Big part of strength training.
Yeah. So, like, if you're doing it slow, it's the exact same as learn to play a song on the piano, which you have experience with. Mm-hmm. Most people listening probably not. But if you're learning a song, you got to play it slow. You can't just like sight read a crazy hard piece by Rachmaninoff and just like full speed, 210 beats per minute.
Friggin' half measure by half measure.
Yes. Chunks, very slow, one note at a time. So it's the exact same with lifting. Like low and slow, make sure that every piece of it is nice and solid, and then you can speed up. Then you can go up in weight. It's the same as learn your scales before you play your Beethoven.
Especially at the beginning stage, right? So you don't build up bad habits.
Yes.
Because it's with 10-pound dumbbells, it's real easy to have some crazy form, or like your ligaments can deal with 10 pounds. Not a lot of ligaments can deal with like 250 pounds in the wrong way or whatever.
Yeah. So quality over quantity, especially in the beginning. Get your foundation, learn the forms, and it's not just not just like you like consciously understanding form, like shoulder press does this and blah 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 blah. You actually have to give your body enough time to learn how to coordinate with each other. This is a compound movement, right? Triceps are in there, anterior delt, the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, they're all supporting it. All these muscles, your core is in there, stabilizing. All of them have to work together, and that takes time.
Yep.
To learn, yeah. So, quality over quantity, I would have avoided some injuries. I definitely would be bigger at this stage in time.
And injuries set you back.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Well, also just like bad form, like you're not going to be creating as much micro tears. You're not going to get as much hypertrophy. You're not going to get as much strength if you have poor form, by definition. Poor form, the definition of poor form for me is like it's dangerous, and it's not doing what it's supposed to be. It's not engaging the muscles properly.
Right.
You're not engaging the muscles all the time. So like if it's low and slow, those muscles are engaged the whole time. But if it's like this, there's gaps in engagement. Yeah. Okay. Calories. I'm a hard gainer. You are you like endomorphic more? You're more mesomorphic.
Ecto? What is that? I forget which one's the medium, the tall, the fucking slender man versus Hobbit.
What? Ectomorph is the skinny one, right?
So yeah, like it's a lot of people say that that's just all bullshit. It's just like a way of currently categorizing a body type.
So
not to wait to like
I wouldn't go as far to say that it's BS. I would say that it can help you understand your body a bit more, because your body does have certain tendencies over another person's body.
Yeah, I guess people have different genetic tendencies or predispositions to go a certain way.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, it's crazy hard to put on muscle, but also fat. It's hard for me to put on either. If I eat more, I can literally feel like my metabolism rising and my body gets warmer, and I can just feel my body just like burning it off. Just automatically. So it's really hard for me to put on fat, but also muscle. Whereas other people, it's the opposite problem, right? It's hard for them to take off fat, but it's also hard for them to take off muscle. Like once they get muscle, they keep it. Like no matter what they do. Like
interesting.
Like I don't think anyone, well, most people are not a pure ectomorph, not a pure mesomorph.
Right.
Whatever.
I feel like it's like slides or categories to a sliding scale.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's a spectrum. So like, just knowing where you are, like, are you closer to to one side or the other? It's beneficial for you. So like for me, if I had known at the beginning that like eating more would have been very beneficial, especially because I was working out like 9 days,
Right.
9 times a week.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Probably would have put on more muscle in the beginning years. So knowing that, so like knowing what your goals are and like knowing that your calories are aligned. If you are trying to lose weight, eat less, you know? Gaining muscle, gaining weight and losing weight is literally as simple as calories in versus calories out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Laws of thermodynamics. That's how I've always done bulking and cutting.
Yeah. So there's a lot of calorie tracking apps which help. Like don't. I always say, count your calories for 1 week solid every day. Make sure every meal is accounted for 1 week, just to know where you are. And also, it'll give you a sense of serving size.
Oh yeah.
Which like people are like eating peanut butter out of a jar. Like this is a tablespoon. Like, you know.
Right. There's not a lot in a tablespoon, by the way. There's not a lot.
It depends on what you're eating.
Right. Oh, and also like the size of the plates in your household, the size of the bowls, even the size of the utensils is crazy.
Yes.
Like how that can affect your perceived serving size.
Yes. That's why I have heard.
Put down those salad spoons and forks. Start taking
eating with a ladle.
Right.
You're trying to gain weight, maybe.
Right. Just olive oil.
No. I just glug it from the bottle at that point.
Yeah.
People on keto do that, by the way.
Sure, man.
That's a topic for another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have heard the tip that like if you're trying to lose weight, physically choose smaller plates, smaller bowls, smaller forks, smaller spoons. If you're trying to gain weight, bigger plates, eat with a freaking ladle, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's just little things that'll help nudge you in the right direction. Because like where you are now, that's your homeostasis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your body loves to stay in that.
Yeah.
It's resistant to change.
Yeah, well, it's like what you're like. You are the summation of your habits. You are the summation of what you do every day, right? So like what you are currently doing is what has made your body. So like if you want to be less weight, you have to be eating less than what you currently are. That's just basics. If you wanna gain weight, more anyway. And of course you can get more specific. You can get more detailed. You can get like. Exponentially more complex as you want, but that's basics.
Right.
Micronutrients and unprocessed foods. Okay, I'm gonna keep this short just because nutrition, it's a rabbit hole. We don't like. As a human race right now, we know so little about nutrition. There are certain truths we know to be facts, but there aren't even that many. Like certain truths, like added sugar is bad. That's everyone pretty much agrees on that. Yeah. But like beyond that, there aren't that many that are like supported by fact that everyone can kind of agree on. So I'm gonna make this nice and loose, which is like. Avoid processed foods. So just like eat oranges, eat veggies, cook the chicken yourself, right? Going to Chipotle, that's people processing the food and turning it into a delicious bowl of food for you. It's delicious. You can have it occasionally, but
it's more whole than deli meat, but it's still.
If I am gonna cheat, Chipotle actually is my go-to.
Right.
Because it's like the least bad yet. Cured meats.
The least bad, yeah.
Yeah.
The golden trash can, yeah.
Oh, you don't be smack talking about Chipotle. I love
No.
Chipotle.
Chipotle is so good. Don't get me wrong, but like I am a record. I will dive into those trash cans.
Gosh. So just cook your own food. Even I made gyros the other day. If you go to a Greek place, probably not the most healthy. It's pita, it's lamb, it's red meat. It's either lamb or beef usually. Don't bother with the chicken. It's too dry. Like if you're gonna have a gyro, enjoy it. Lamb or beef. But it's also tzatziki sauce, which is like yogurt, it's dairy.
Yeah.
Usually
the sauces, man.
Oh gosh, the sauce. And then usually a side of fries.
Mm-hmm.
So
especially the freaking fries processed as no matter where you get them.
Yeah, but I made gyros the other day, and even though it's not healthy food, it's still pita bread, it's still red meat, it's still chips, fried potatoes. Because I made it at home, it's going to be less processed. There's no additives. Mm-hmm. There's no BS in there. You have complete control over what goes in there, and you can even skim out a little bit of fat or whatever, make it a little bit low percentage fat or whatever. But if anything homemade is always going to be better than anything you get at the restaurant. So
mm-hmm.
if you are gonna if you are craving red meat like I do occasionally, I think I have red meat every other week or so.
Oh wow.
I try to keep it to a minimum. Is that a little or?
No, I mean I just try and get red meat whenever I can.
Oh, that's how you so buff.
We can talk about the carnivore diet later. I felt amazing on that. But anyway,
I feel I would feel great on it for a day. I feel by the second day I'd start to feel like I'm dying.
I feel the first day for me was oh my gosh, but then the second day and then the rest of the days I was always on. I could keep going. I wasn't hungry at all, even though I was just eating breakfast and
you just tapped into your inner caveman.
Yeah, it was just a pound of steak for breakfast, pound of steak at night, and then for my multivitamin, I would have a serving of liver once a week.
Okay, we definitely got to talk about this because I'm very against the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
I'm very
it's not sustainable at all.
Omnivore. Okay,
right.
At least we can agree on that.
Yeah, gosh.
The keto.
Right. I'm not even talking about just taste fatigue. I'm talking about nutrients, body, or whatever you need, health. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. So I don't know how long we've been talking, but it's just so that we're not here all day.
Right.
As for micronutrients and unprocessed foods, to finish up that point, try to just eat whole foods, just because any liquid calories you get are calories that could be filled with micronutrients,
mm-hmm.
from an orange or from the salad or an apple or whatever. I don't know any statistics for this, so I'm not gonna pull any out of my butt, but I gotta assume more people than not are not getting enough micronutrients. Would you probably agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta assume the majority of people are not getting enough micronutrients. So kind of push yourself in the direction of getting more.
Yeah.
Just cut out soda. It's not worth it. Have an apple. Apples are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Especially man, GMO fruit these days, amazing. They got so much great flavor. I love GMOs, by the way.
Okay.
I mean, I also like my organic stuff. Costco, most of their fruits are organic.
But pros and cons here.
Yes, there are pros and cons. Okay, well, the organic stuff too, just because people selectively breed the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to collect the seeds from the bitter fruit.
Right.
They're going to collect the seeds from the most sweet fruit. They're also going to genetically engineer the seeds to be sweeter. Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. That's controversial. Again, another topic.
It's necessary evil. Necessary evil.
Necessary evil? Yeah.
Give me my B12s.
But point is, fruit is delicious. Fruit is expensive. That is actually the biggest downside.
Yeah.
Is that it's
especially
expensive
nowadays, man.
Yeah. Just get it in bulk. Just go to Costco. Get it from Aldi.
Right. Even just some Frozen blueberries.
Yeah, frozen blueberries. Oh my god.
Giant bags.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like 7 pounds for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, frozen blueberries.
You can put those in anything.
Yes.
Oatmeal. It's so good.
Yeah, oh my god. For real.
Transforms it.
Put in your oatmeal, put in your smoothies. Heck, I just put it in a mug sometimes, just frozen, and then like I'll just like take a few back, and it's kind of like gives you the same satisfaction as like a popsicle almost.
Yeah, or
it's
like
frozen
you
sweet.
can. Yeah, it's a dessert for me, really.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, candy. It's just what it is. It's candy. It's nature's candy. Man. Sure. Well, anyway, if you don't take like sugary stuff that's been made to be super sugary,
yeah.
like especially when you're on a cut, fruits are like
yeah, they're the lifeblood of diets. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
This is something that I took too long to learn, mostly because like I'm an introvert at heart. Which is the biggest lifters in the gym are usually the nicest. And also, like, they're big for a reason. They know things.
Right.
So, like, talk to them.
Oh, yeah, and like, point, they're just big because they're on steroids. Well, listen, like, most of people that are on steroids look like shit. They don't even look like they lift. Because you got to get all your building blocks in that we've talked about in check so that you can reap the benefits of enhanced recovery and increased testosterone, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, exactly. They know what they're talking about. They got there for a reason. They put in the work. It's hard work, arguably even harder work, maybe. But, you know, they know their shit. Exactly. Yeah.
Lifting heavier than me.
Yeah.
My 15 pounds low and slow.
Right.
Yeah, so they know things, and they're usually, like, the reason they're big is they have to have a certain level of passion. They have to enjoy it to some degree. If they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, if they're doing something they love, they're going to probably be in a good mood. For most lifters, it's not our favorite time of day.
Right.
It's probably the height of their mood in the day. So, like, talk to them. And I always find that, like, opening up with, like, a compliment, like, big guys, like, just love talking about their bodies.
Oh, yeah.
They love talking about this stuff. It's their favorite topic.
Right.
I'll just walk up to a guy and be like, damn, dude, how do you get your biceps that big? And, like, that's usually enough to start, like, a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, people, little psychology thing, like, people love talking about themselves.
Yeah.
Like, not even in a insulting or bad way, just, like, ask about their day, ask about, you know, whatever, and then they'll open up to you super, super nice.
Yeah. Well, like just think about, like, the things you think about throughout the day. Aren't, like, 90 to 99% of the things you think about yourself? So, like, if most of the things you're talking about...
You're a narcissist. Yeah.
Oh, is that a little too high? Right. Not normal?
I'm thinking about other people all day long.
Oh, okay.
I barely... Yeah.
I didn't even look at the mirror this morning. I was just looking out my window. It's like, oh, a beautiful day.
I put a poster of my neighbor on my mirror. Okay, yeah, anyway.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, talk to the big guys. They are very nice. Learn from them. I have had 2 coaches, like being like my, they're my coaches, like helping me improve in the gym. And I met them because they were just big guys in the gym, and I just walked up to them and be like, hey man, I got a question for you. What are your thoughts? And unsurprisingly, they're like, oh man, you got to do this. Have you thought about this? They're like, oh, have you tried this exercise? Oh, just supinate your wrist. Like little things like that. They love talking about it. And like, I'll tell you, like, and this has only happened a couple times because I'm not that big. But a few people have come up to me and like asked me like, hey, that's an interesting exercise you're doing.
Right.
Like, what do you think about it? Yeah. And like my face lights up like, oh, I'd love to tell you about this. Like,
yeah, like how we met too. Like you asked me about my weird anterior tibialis workout thing.
It was like homemade.
Made out of PVC, yeah. And yeah, like how I got into professionally working in this industry was I went up to one of the bigger guys at my gym, and then I was like, hey, what do you guys know anything about isometrics? And then he was like, no, it turns out he like worked there, and then did a couple training sessions, and then he hired me on the spot. after I like brought a whole notebook of questions, and I asked if we could spend a whole session just asking and answering questions. I was like, you want to work here? Yeah.
Yeah, just showing interest, showing initiative.
Right.
Like that'll just open up doors for you just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big guys, I'd say like the most receptive to like accepting like
Inquiry, and passing down knowledge. I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah, because like they have spent so many hours, so many years in the gym. They're like, I'm not gonna be around forever. Like I want to pass this on, or at the very least, like again, just like people like to talk about things they're interested in. Doesn't even matter what the topic is. Just like if you're interested in it, people like talking about it.
Right.
So, heck yeah.
Yeah, make some friends.
Yes. Okay, and the last topic for like the best bang for your buck, like start, like I wish I knew like right off the bat, was beware of bad advice online, which I acknowledge is a little ironic because I am trying to pass off knowledge online.
Yeah. Be
But-
skeptical of us too.
Huh?
Be skeptical of us too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Like I think I even said like earlier that like we're both natty. Like don't even trust us about that, right? Like
yeah.
like it's in everyone's best interest to say that they're natty.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Remember the big percentage of people that look like shit? I am one of them. I'm kidding. Anyway,
I know from experience.
just about the steroid part, I still look shit.
You look beautiful. But yeah, it's just like beware bad advice online. Just because like realize that anyone can say anything online.
Mm-hmm. And sounds super confident.
Oh yeah. They're like, oh, I look good. You can trust me.
Right. Oh, the biggest resume online in the fitness industry is a shirtless body.
Yeah. It's
If you're a man. I mean, maybe for a girl too, but not on YouTube. Anyway.
I mean, I feel like the majority of like our niche is gonna be like dudes. So I'm mostly talking about blokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I think you summed it up the best. It's just like be skeptical of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Look for peer-reviewed stuff. If it's too good to be true, it definitely is.
Right. And like, look for meta-analyses of studies. Don't just go off one study.
Yeah.
There's so many variables.
Yeah.
Like analyze different studies or like even anecdotally, right? Because all these things, even you,
This
even
worked for me.
Yeah, we're just complex anecdotes. We're complex case studies that we viewed our own bodies and we viewed our own research from our point of view. So in this cone, we might have missed something here, right? That works for someone else or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So it's important to seek knowledge, but I think the real thing is seek knowledge and try to synthesize it with knowledge you already have. Like, does this fit into like my understanding of the body?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
like I'll hear crazy things like when you do deadlifts, do round your lower back. Like I've heard that advice.
Right.
Like with heavy weight, I'm talking like 3 plates. They're like, oh, that's extra range of motion. That's good. Well, with my current understanding of like the normal, is that the kyphotic curve?
Yeah.
The low back? The natural, it might be the upper back, I don't remember. The natural curve of the low back, if you curve it the other way, it is bad for the spine. So I just know right off the bat that's probably bad advice.
Underload. Underload. Under a lot of load.
Under a lot of load.
Right.
Yeah.
Untrained. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, like there's certain like physical therapy, like you can do deadlifts like with it lowering out and lowering you around.
Right, like a Jefferson curl or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Wait,
Where you do lower your back, but it's with
Right.
light weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
There
for
are
sure.
muscles there, but not for 300 pounds or not.
Oh. Yes, and definitely not like sudden jerky movements. Yeah, that's a very vulnerable position. So, like, exercise common sense. It's important.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've experienced points of my fitness career or my knowledge where I've had my foundation just picked up and shaken all around and shuffled. And instead of just, accepting this new dogmatic information, I do like hours and hours of research, comparing and contrasting my previous knowledge to this new knowledge.
Yeah.
And like usually it's a Frankenstein of one part to another is my new thinking.
Exactly. Like the definition of like intaking like new knowledge, it's like it has to kind of overwrite some knowledge.
Yeah.
By definition, like it can't just like fill an empty space usually, because usually there's already like an assumption already there. But yeah, it's usually not going to be like, oh, I got to change everything I already knew. No, you probably already have established it as like fact in your mind because like it's based on a few things. So yeah, you can introduce certain things, but like just be wary of just fads.
Yeah,
Usually,
always question everything that you hear.
Yeah.
And like, fads are fads for a reason, but it might not be for a reason why a lot of people are saying it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's always some degree of truth in every lie, right? And like, I'm trying to think of like certain fads that like I have like come around and like, oh yeah, they're like ashwagandha, like that was huge like a number of years ago, and like I paid it no mind. I was like, it's a fad. I didn't do my research. I just kind of passed it off as a fad.
Right.
But it has stuck around. It was suggested to me by my coach actually. And I did try, I did my research this time. I looked into it, seemed good. And then my anecdotal experience is like, yes, it is good. I actually do recommend.
I agree.
And yeah, you have experience with it as well.
Yeah, like I think ashwagandha and turkesterone kind of blew up kind of around the same time. And now I still hear about ashwagandha, not so much turkesterone. So.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that, so.
Dang, okay, good.
Well, exactly. Look,
you're missing out on some like powerful plant steroids that work for plants.
But I am not plant.
Yeah, exactly.
Heck. I'll have to find an alternative. So yeah. Okay. So being beware of bad advice online. Just question it. Yeah.
Right.
I think we got it. Okay. Moving on. All right. And now onto the section of things that only provide a bit more benefit and therefore are secondary priorities. So like remember that the title of this is like min-maxing.
Right.
So like everything we've already talked about, do those first. This is going to give you the best bang for your buck. And these secondary priorities. Protein shakes.
Is it secondary?
Yeah. Like they're good.
Oh, yeah.
But like you should have real food.
Right.
Like if you can.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. It's like, oh, do you drink protein shakes? And I'm like, if I forgot to meal prep and I don't have like my chicken and rice or chicken and potatoes or fish and whatever, if I don't have food, then yeah, I'll have a protein shake.
Yeah. Oof. That's a bad example. I don't know. I was just gonna say like, there's always a label on those protein powder things. Like it's not a meal replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should always use it to supplement.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting like 80 grams of protein from your diet already, and you want to bump it up a little bit, perfect.
Yeah, and that's the definition of supplementing it.
Right.
Right? Is like you are already getting a fair amount of protein from your food, supplement it to get it up to like, if you wanted a bit more, do it with your protein shake.
And even with fortified proteins, like I can make a protein shake double scooped or whatever, like easily be nearly 1,000 calories, but having that placing like a whole food 1,000 calorie meal, which is going to be crazy big, it's just not, it's not good.
Yeah, that's too many calories at once. I think a lot of that's going to get stored as fat.
That's a different thing. One meal a day kind of philosophy. Yeah, we'll do that later. We'll touch it later.
Yes. Oh gosh.
But yeah, protein shakes, supplement, secondary.
Yeah. Well, that kind of does touch on the next topic, which is meal timing.
Ooh.
So like, if so people like metabolic window, right?
Right.
The 30 minutes, or some people say 20 minutes after a workout, the most important time to get your protein in. And like, I feel that mostly like intuitively. Like it's like when like my body feels like it is like in the need of the most nutrients.
Yeah.
And like it makes sense. Like you just burned a lot of calories, you burned a lot of glycogen. Your body is looking to resupply that. And if you do resupply it, you're teaching your body, hey, food is plentiful. Let's bulk up.
Right.
You know? So like if you fast, you're kind of telling your body, hey, food might not be that plentiful. We don't know what our next meal is. Hey, maybe we should hold on.
Especially after workout.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, let's hold on to this as like stored energy, as fat. But like if food is plentiful, hey, let's invest in the future. Let's build up muscle.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. So like in that sense, like it kind of makes intuitive knowledge.
Right. There's no hard window of the whatever. It's a myth, but also like I just get really hungry after a workout. Naturally. So that's when I eat when I'm really hungry.
Listen to your body.
Right.
We already touched on that. Listen to your body. Eat if you're hungry.
So like, yeah, what do you feel about the differences between breakfast, lunch, dinner, the times or whatever, intermittent fasting, or is that just going way too much into it?
So I love these types of details. Like, I'm definitely not a beginner. I definitely don't think I'm intermediate anymore. The definition of advanced to me is like, you have your foundation, you have all these systems in place, like I'm getting enough protein, my workouts are always solid, like those are automatic, those are clockwork. So now I'm free to like start playing around with these finer details, which like probably only give you like 1% increase, 2% increase, little increases, which again, min-maxing, do the things that give you like 60% increases. Water, rest, do those first. But
focus on the boulders, not the pebbles.
And yeah, so with meal timing, I will say, so the first thing is just like make sure you're getting enough calories if you're trying to gain weight. Make sure you're having less calories than you consume, than you burn if you're trying to lose weight. Yeah, that's the fundamentals.
Yeah.
But as for meal timing, I will always recommend more meals per day, spread throughout the day. So like I have 5 meals myself, usually, sometimes 6, depending on the program at the time, depending on what I'm kind of trying to do, whether I'm bulking, cutting, whatever. And again, those are like very slight bulk and cuts. Like stage bodybuilders, they'll like swing like 40 pounds or more between their bulks and their cuts. That's gotta be bad for your body. Would you agree?
Oh my gosh, yeah. This last bulk, I overdid a little bit, so now this cut's gotta be extra long before. Now my plan is gonna do like a 2-3 month bulk, 1 month cut, blah blah blah.
Please silence your phone, Mr. Popular. Anyway, you're doing a longer cut.
Yeah, but
you're doing a longer cut because you bulked too heavily. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So that's good. So like instead of being like, no, I want him to be shredded by summer, beach body, you're like, no, I have a little extra to lose. So like instead of losing 15 pounds, now you want to lose 20 pounds or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, and the longer the cut goes on, just the benefits don't outweigh the cons anymore, because like you're gonna be more tired, your muscles are gonna be shrunk more, and it's just
also
it's not fun anymore.
Right?
Miserable. Yeah, because man. Yeah, exactly.
And you're you're much less likely to like follow through with your diet the harsher it is.
Yeah, because it does get harder as it goes on.
Yeah.
Because your body's resistant to change. There's only so many calories I can dip down to before my hormones start, exploding.
My favorite visualization for that is like your body is your homeostasis, where you are currently, wherever you are. This is your center point. And the further you try to get from your homeostasis, so like if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, imagine like a rubber band around my hand.
Oh, yeah.
So if you try to lose 10 pounds, that's going to be kind of hard. There's a bit of tension there. But if you try to lose 20 pounds, that's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
The further you try to get from your homeostasis, the harder it's going to be.
And like like you said, the change, the magnitude, the change is the hard part. You're always going to be uncomfortable in the change.
Yeah.
your body
Change is uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so like smaller, more often changes can be good. You can manage that way better than one big change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
so like a 1 pound per week versus like a 2 pounds per week.
Right. And then yeah, the whole thing like, oh, my body's meant to stay at this weight for like, you know, I just keep bouncing back to my weight, blah blah blah. You can make new homeostasis for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Like new maintenance calories, new weight. Because like let's say
just has to get used to it.
Yeah, let's say I go from 200 all the way down to 150. Holy cow, that was a lot. Since that was such a big shock, my homeostasis might be like 175, right? Arbitrary numbers, but yeah. But if it's like, you know, but it's still down from 200. But if I, you know, go down from 200 to 190, right? Now my homeostasis is 195 probably.
And then if you stay at 190, it'll probably go to 190.
Down to 190. Yeah, exactly. A lot faster and a lot easier.
Yes.
Than, you know, having like a 700 calorie deficit versus a 200 one.
Yes. And of course that brings to it like a slew of other problems. Like if you are in that deficit, like it's going to be really hard to put on muscle if you're in 700 calorie deficit, things like that.
You want to make the change as short and as uncomfortable as possible, right? But still deliberate.
Yeah, because that means you're working hard.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like shit all day, like it means you're not pushing yourself enough.
Yeah, I drink a gallon of water a day and an egg, and I'm on hard mode. I'm determined to lose this weight, and I'm 125. Like,
a little too close to home for me. That's where I started. I was like, I literally started when I first started lifting. I was 125.
Dang.
Yeah, it's because I was fresh off of cross country.
Oh, dang, yeah.
The story of how I got on cross country was I went to what's that for like first day where you're like getting used to like high school? Do you remember what the word for that is? It's not like triage. It's something like that though. Anyway, it was like my first day. Like I was walking around the cafeteria, and the cross country coach sees me, this 120-pound little freshman in high school, sees me from across the cafeteria.
Oh, he has no wind resistance.
Slides through that wind. Beelines it for me and says, "How would you like to join cross country?" And I was like, "Okay." So I did cross country. It was varsity, mind you. Mm-hmm. It was really hard to bring up my body to homeostasis and keep on the muscle because it was used to being lean. And by lean, I mean like no fat, but also no muscle. Mm-hmm. But as for meal timing, I always recommend everyone do like multiple meals a day because the more meals a day, it benefits both camps, which is people who want to lose fat and people who want to gain muscle. It benefits both because if you want to lose fat, if you're eating more often, your metabolism is going to be higher because you're having smaller meals and your
digestion needs calories to process.
Yeah. And also like it teaches your body, hey, food is plentiful, like burn this. You don't need to hold on to this as fat. Mm-hmm. Use it. But then if you're trying to put on muscle, it also benefits you because like you can only absorb however much protein per hour.
Right? There was a study that just came out about that.
A singular study?
I think so. Oh. I can't remember if it was a new study meta-analysis or like a study. I do know that at least one new study is about that. To where.
And what's the result?
The whole time window of being able to use the protein from ingestion, like I think the highest they went up to is like 50 or 60 grams in one thing. Like,
that's a lot.
That is a lot. Your body was still able to use it for even a longer amount of time, like a comparatively longer amount of time, almost linear.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news for us.
Yeah, exactly, right. And the 1,000-calorie shakes is... No, I'm not advocating for that, but, you know.
Unless you're trying to bulk for, like, to make your high school football team, maybe don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The 1,000 calories.
The shake is 50% olive oil.
I mean, it'll go down the throat right nice and smooth.
Yeah. Oh man, and through your digestive system.
Exactly. Which actually is what I want to talk about, which is like, okay, so whether or not like you're able to digest, absorb a certain amount of protein in your body at once, like again, drawing on knowledge from other places. The term for that is lateral thinking, right?
Right.
So the way your body absorbs nutrients is you chew it in your mouth. That's where digestion starts, right in the mouth, if I remember middle school biology properly. So it starts in the mouth. Yeah. You start to break it down in your mouth. There's enzymes in your saliva that helps break down the food, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Goes down to your stomach. The acid breaks it down. So like these stages so far, it has just been breaking it down so that like it's more readily absorbed. So the majority of your nutrient uptake happens in, I believe, the small intestine. Isn't it like 26 feet long or something like that?
Some absurd number, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy long, and there's, was it mycelium that lines
mycelium?
That sounds right. Keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. Those increase the surface area by a lot because...
Oh yeah. There's like tons of like brain wrinkles.
Yes, exactly. So like it's 26 feet long, there's all these wrinkles, and that surface area is where the nutrition gets absorbed into the body, which is why fiber is so important, because fiber is just material which slows the digestive process. So like because it's slowed, your body has more time to absorb. So hence, if you have more fiber, you're going to absorb more nutrients. So like bringing it back to the meal timing, if you eat more times per day, like your body is going to like be absorbing longer.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to absorb more nutrients to build the muscle. So that's like, it makes sense. I haven't heard like a study that specifically is like, yes, this. It's just like, because I know like things about the anatomy, and I know like what I need to do in order to build muscle. Like I know how muscle is created. I know how digestion roughly works. I can draw certain conclusions and modify how I eat to min-max nutrient absorption. So, meal timing. 5 small meals a day, like 1 to 2 hours between meals. And then once your 5 meals are up, no snacking. And then that'll naturally create a intermittent fasting window. Which I am also for. Having that fasted period, it has things to do with hormones, stuff that I am vastly underqualified to talk about. And I'm definitely going to do more research and have dedicated videos to this, dedicated podcast to this in the future. But like going to sleep on an empty stomach is good. You should. I have heard from many sources. I don't want to like misquote them off the top of my head. So like an intermittent fasting window is good, and it'll naturally be created outside that 5 meals. Cool. Okay. Okay. And the last thing only provides a bit more benefit, and therefore our secondary priorities are designer workouts. Again, ironic, because I am paid to create workouts for clients and and meal plans for clients. It's like I do create.
So when you say designer workouts, you mean like cookie cutter programs, or like you talk to a coach and they like curate one for you?
Both.
Okay.
So definitely ones that are cookie cutter that you find online. Use these as jumping boards, like a trampoline to jump off of. Like I know multiple people who just like finds like 6-month workout programs and
holy
this
shit.
is what you do. this day, and like day in, day out, and they just follow it.
Yeah.
Like, the person who made this has never met you. They don't know your body. They don't know your histories. They don't know your injuries.
Right.
They don't know anything about you. They don't know your goals. They don't know your hopes and dreams. They don't know anything about you.
Right.
You're a stranger to them. Or ones that you just like get from Google Images. And again, I am guilty of these things as well.
Yeah, of course. We all
We all are.
Yeah.
Yes. But like the thing, so like these are good starting points, but you have to modify it to you. The biggest thing is you just have to think. Just be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just be like, hey, I want to work on my biceps a little bit more than this program is having me do. Or like once you do the program for like a week or two, you're like, I feel like it's not working my biceps enough. So add a bicep exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Add two, whatever. Modify it to you. Use it as a starting point, but change it. Little tweaks here and there, and then listen to how your body responds. And then as for like getting a coach or like an online trainer or an in-person trainer to make you a workout program, a meal program, I am for those because those people know you. The in-person training more so. Online trainers, be wary of online trainers. Anyone can be an online trainer.
Anyone can be an in-person trainer.
Also true.
Oh man, yeah. Like the skepticism does not end when you walk into a room and meet the person. Like, cause, oh my gosh.
We've both known personal trainers who are not qualified to be personal trainers.
The industry is rife.
Yes. What would you say like the ratio of good trainers to unqualified trainers?
70-30. 70 being bad.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna say worse.
really?
Yes. Because
I've just been lucky, I guess.
okay.
Or just ignorant. I am. Yeah.
Because okay, I have worked as a trainer at 2 gyms. One, and like I'm not gonna name the gym, but like one, it's at a chain gym. It was a chain gym, and it was the grand opening of it. So like I was part of the batch of trainers that were hired for like opening day. Yeah, they hired 50 of us.
Whoa.
Too many. It's too many people.
50 people. 50 good trainers don't exist in
one town.
Right. 50 good people that know how to work out might be in one area, but not 50 good trainers.
Yeah. Gosh. Again, this is a big change of, so like this is actually part of, and like I've had a lot of time to think about this like since then, and like this is just part of this chain gym's like strategy of like over hiring because they don't pay the trainers unless they're training someone.
Purely commission based, right?
Yeah, so it's up to the trainers to get their own clientele. They have to fight each other. Like again, I'll talk about this more in depth at another time. But like, it's a business model that only benefits the gym and like at the expense of the trainers and the clients.
Right, and the clients, yeah, right, exactly, because the most exposure they have is they don't get purely good trainers; they get good salespeople.
Yeah.
Who might know how to train.
Yeah. More often than not, it's just a person who's like, I like to work out.
Right.
Fitness is fun.
Their body may look good.
Maybe.
Right.
And of course that's not necessarily like they could know a lot and
right, exactly. Yeah. There are like outliers, right?
A good physique is subjective.
And like you can definitely sell personal training with just good value alone.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can sell personal training with just a good physique alone.
Exactly.
Many people do it online. Just getting too real. Okay. But okay, so I worked at that gym, and out of those 50 trainers, at the time they offered a pay buff if you had more than one personal training certification. So I took it upon myself. They had a program through the gym to get a certification through them. It was only $100. That's cheap. And so I got my second certification. I was already certified through NASM, which is the best, the most widely accepted. Yeah. So I had 2 training certificates, which buffed my pay from like 16% of what the client pays to like.
Holy moly,
20%.
that's so low.
Yes. There's a reason I only worked there for 2 months. And in the time I made like maybe $300, like in like 2 months.
Gosh, man.
It shouldn't be legal. That
Right.
It shouldn't be illegal. But again, this is like the worst scenario.
Right, yeah.
It was much better at the second gym, which I'll get to in a sec. But like at the first gym, I was one of 2 people with 2 certifications. And I was good friends with the other guy. And I talked to one of my bosses and it was like, hey, how many people have 2 certifications? And he's like, hey man, half of like 25 of these like 50 trainers are in progress of getting their first certification.
Yeah. Yep.
Half of them are uncertified and already training people.
Yep.
So like, this isn't even to say that like once you are certified, you're going to be a good trainer, but they're not even trained.
Yeah.
They're not certified.
Exactly.
And it's legal,
Mm-hmm.
especially online. No one's regulating that.
Oh yeah, you didn't. Oh, right.
Anyone can train anyone.
When's the last time someone got arrested for false claiming that they were a certified personal trainer?
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, and I think there was a handful of good trainers out of those 50. I'd say maybe half a dozen out of 50. Mm-hmm. So that's maybe 10%.
Right.
And then at the second gym, it was just me and 2 other trainers, and the other 2 other trainers there were issues. There was gaps in knowledge, and then there was of course like one trainer was just like standing up clients, but that's just
yeah.
They just didn't show up to their sessions.
Bad person.
Yeah, they're just not a good employee. Yeah. So in that sample size, I was the only quote unquote good trainer there.
Mm-hmm.
And in your case, you said like 30% are good. So this is all to say, just like be wary.
Right. Yeah. Of anything and everyone. Don't trust anyone. Don't be paranoid.
No. You can trust us.
Right. Yeah. Just be cautious.
Yeah. Just be skeptical. Just think. Just think. Don't be too trusting. Don't be naive. That's all. Just find the sweet spot of like trusting and untrusting, I guess. Okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about, we've been talking for a while. I wonder how much you're gonna have to like cut and like post. Probably not much.
Not much. There are not a lot of breaks.
Yeah, this has been a good talk. I've been enjoying this. But like the last topic that I want to talk about, which is like things I would have liked to know when I first started working out, is that alcohol is it's a poison. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure everyone can agree.
Literally a poison.
It's literally a poison. Yeah. Like it goes straight to your liver to filter it out of your body because it's
your body's like, we need this mess out of you.
Yeah, this is not good for us. It's dehydrating, which we've already talked about, the importance of being hydrated.
It wrecks your sleep, so it kills another one of the foundational things.
It's expensive. It's empty calories.
Oh gosh.
So that's calories that aren't being filled with micronutrients. That's already going against 3 things we've been talking about. And like, so like when I was in college, like I was a heavy drinker. And I was also heavily into lifting. Okay. And like, that's not to say that like, if I knew that like alcohol was so bad for my lifting progress that I would stop lifting, because there was other reasons I was drinking. It was because I was depressed and I leaned on it as a social crutch.
Right.
There's other reasons I was drinking alcohol. But had I known that it was so bad for my progress, like it probably would have inched me toward like not drinking. Like I currently do. Like I think I've had like 2 drinks in the past like 3 years.
Right.
I think it would have like nudged me in that direction like sooner. Mm-hmm. Just because like whenever I saw like progress in my physique, that was super encouraging. And it would be encouraging to keep doing what I'm doing, like the good things I'm doing. So like had I known that like alcohol was actively like making me take steps backwards, and it's making me lose progress. Actually, like it's not even neutral; it is negative benefit.
Yep.
Like I probably would have like eased up sooner.
Yeah.
Like.
But it's so fun, man. It is. It gets you insane, man. Like, pros and cons. That's a big freaking con.
Yeah, there's a lot of cons. Like, the main benefit is like, it helps you have like it's a social lubricant, right?
Yes,
it just like helps you relax.
Does it decrease cortisol? I wonder. Probably not. Because like systemically, it wrecks everything else. Yeah. It stresses your body.
Yeah, cortisol is the stress hormone. For those keeping track of it, keeping score at home. Yeah, I doubt it lowers cortisol. And there are so many better things that you can do to lower social anxiety, which is just like lowering anxiety in general, which is like mindfulness, meditation, getting proper sleep. What else? Some embarrassing things that I've tried is like I've practiced like making eye contact with people.
Oh, that was so hard for me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like I still feel like a robot whenever I look at someone's eyes, and I was like, "Am I still?"
You gotta look at this spot and then between their eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like you're looking at their eyes. I'm doing it now. Can you tell?
No, because I'm looking at you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You have to practice some of these things.
Yeah. So like alcohol is taking the easy way out in terms of like social lubrication. Like just learn through work. Take the hard way out of like being an interesting person to talk to. Like learn fun facts. Like be an interesting person. Like have a hobby that you can talk to people about, or like have interests. Like learn about whatever sports. That's an interest. You can talk about sports with people. Like if you have things to talk about, like you won't be awkward in social situations.
Right, and bonus points if this hobby leads you to places or situations where you can talk to other people about the same hobby. That's easy.
Well,
AKA the gym.
Yes. I honestly struck up a conversation with anyone at the gym. Like, if they're in the gym, it means they're at least serious enough to like have somewhat of an interest in the gym,
right.
or at least in like health.
Right.
And I don't know.
But don't go up to that guy with headphones on, already doing a set. Yeah. Catch him on the way in, or on the way out,
or in between sets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't bother people while they're like lifting.
Yeah.
Of course. But alcohol. Also, I'll probably have a link up that we can put up. But there was a study I was reading the other day that's like, there is no amount of alcohol that is healthy for you, which includes red wine. Because of course, like with the Mediterranean diet, they say like, oh, a glass of wine is good for you. Right? The antioxidants or whatever. I can't remember. If I can find the link, I'll we can put it in the description of the video or whatever. But like the antioxidants, there are so many antioxidants in a lot of food. Blueberries have so many antioxidants. We've already talked about it. You can get 7 pounds for like $5 at Costco. Right. Frozen blueberries. Like as soon as they pick it from the bush.
Yeah, skip the middleman. Just eat a bag of grapes instead of drinking wine.
I mean, yeah.
Sure, fermentation.
But then you don't get drunk.
Yeah. Watch me get drunk on a bag of grapes, man.
Grapes get me lit.
That's a shirt.
Write it down. But I'm not really gonna write it down. I'm just for the lol. But yeah, antioxidants are in everything. Tea has hella antioxidants.
My gosh, yeah.
What else has antioxidants?
Like lemon fruit or like plants? Like herbs?
Well, like colorful fruits and vegetables have a lot of antioxidants.
Right.
Blueberries, raspberry, like berries in general.
What fruits aren't colorful? Cucumbers?
Cucumbers ain't
They're
fruit.
green. They are.
They're a fruit?
Yeah.
You're mind blowing me today.
Whoa.
Oh,
welcome to 2020. Fucking welcome to 2016.
cucumbers, they're a vegetable. They're not sweet. They're green.
Fruits aren't always sweet. Sometimes they're bitter. Sometimes they're even like mushy.
Don't
and
talk to me
neutral.
about tomatoes.
Oh.
These are arbitrary things. Like, if you look up the definition of like vegetable, it'll get fuzzy very fast. So, whatever. But anyway,
Your vegetables are fuzzy?
Right. Fruits and veggies that are like usually colorful, they usually have a lot of antioxidants.
Mm-hmm.
Berries and tea are the first two that come to mind for like antioxidants. So like red wine, there are alternatives to getting antioxidants.
For the benefits, yeah.
Yeah, for the benefits. But I think people, it's just like, I think it's just alcoholics who are just like, this is healthy.
Yeah, any excuse to get lit.
Drink an entire box of wine.
Oh gosh.
But I mean, like, of course, not that I judge. Like, right, we all have our cruxes. We all have our
Vices.
That's what I'm looking for. Like, I play way more video games than I should.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't justify it. Well, actually, I totally do justify it. When Rachel, my girlfriend, is like, Kevin, pay attention to me. You've been playing video games for the past 6 hours. I'll be like, I'm being social. I'm spending time with my friends. Being social is important. So I guess that's totally a justification for a vice. So I guess I totally do too. So
it's like it's a night out with the boys, right?
Yeah.
But it's sober and less dangerous.
Yeah. I would argue there are more pros than cons compared to like drinking.
Right,
yes. But like my main point is that like I'm not judging. Everything is arbitrary. Everyone is a unique snowflake. This is a judgment-free zone. Yeah. All I'm saying is that there are other options that I would recommend.
Yeah. It's just not conducive to a min-max relationship with health and fitness.
Yes, thank you for bringing it back. Perfect. That was the title of the video. Well, podcast. All right. I think that's everything.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining me. This was a fun conversation. This was enjoyable. Let's do it again sometime. But all right. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir.